Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are looking at critical metals. It is time for another update, and in the previous video I have shared with you on this stock. We have been looking for this idea of a 1-2 setup to potentially even have a bottom in. It did initially hold better than the MP Materials stock. It has bottomed at the 50% retracement instead of reaching the 61.8% retracement. And I have even considered a potential internal 1-2 setup in the case of this structure, but it has failed. We didn't manage to hold the internal levels of support. In fact, we have already extended to new lows in the case of this chart. This doesn't mean that we also need to do that on the MP Materials stock, just something to watch out for. But we do need to consider that in the case of this chart, we would be looking to complete a wave C before having a more substantial bottom in, before resuming our overall uptrend, where, if you don't remember, if you haven't watched the initial video, I am looking for a leading diagonal to take place in the case of this chart. So I would still be looking to form new all-time highs within this wave 5, within the idea of an ABC pattern. So at this point, I do not know that we will get a wave 3 and a wave 4 and a wave 5 within the wave A, but it is something I am tracking. If I only get an ABC pattern within this movement, I would be perfectly happy. I believe it would still be worth looking out for, because especially if we head towards lower prices within this wave 2 area of support, possibly the 61.8% retracement for example, I would be looking perhaps to allow even a 22% loss, maybe even more. Maybe I want to allow a full invalidation before getting stopped out actually. But I could be looking, possibly, even for a 2x just within a wave C. So this is actually quite compelling. I'm looking at a 1-to-5 risk-reward ratio, and the exact percentage I am risking in this movement to the downside, in the case of a failure, isn't important. I can adjust my position to be the exact amount I want to risk. If I want to risk $200, I risk $200. If I want to risk $2,000, I can risk $2,000 within this trade. It is entirely up to me. It is meant to fit in with my strategy, and I'm still tracking this area of support. Even if I would have actually preferred one more high within this wave 1 to the upside, I believe this would remain an interesting opportunity. And if I wanted to also watch out for some structural support in the case of this structure of this chart, I would be eyeing here the area between $9 down to around $8.3, possibly even below the 78.6% retracement, which is also why I do not want to place my stop loss just below the 78.6% retracement. I would have these previous lows that have formed in this overall movement to the downside. I believe there is a good chance we would see some help in forming a reversal from this area. Now, enough of the larger structure, we can go into the smaller time frame, where I am looking to build a 5-wave pattern within this as a wave C, and I believe we would benefit here from going into an even smaller time frame, maybe the 15 minutes, to see the full picture here. So primarily, I would have to consider that this would be my wave 1 down, this would be my wave 2 up, and I believe the wave 3 has actually extended all the way down here, where I would now still need a wave 4 and a wave 5 before having a more substantial bottom in, right? While within this structure, this wave C would have technically done enough. I do want to make it absolutely clear that a bottom could be in within this wave 2, but I would have to break certain levels of resistance for more confidence in that idea. I would have to get a sustained break above $10.9 before being more convinced that I have indeed a bottom within this white wave 2. So ideally, if this wave 3 has indeed bottomed, and we do not get direct extensions to lower prices, which remains a possibility, I would like to see this wave 4 take us to at least $10.14. Around that area, I may have not drawn that perfectly. And I do not want to see it break above $10.9 while still generating one additional low, quite possibly into this green support box before forming a more substantial bottom within this wave 2 in white. This would be the ideal path in the case of the white wave 2 for me, but it doesn't have to follow it. This is just something I am watching out for. And for now, we will actually stop here. You have all the data you need. You have the levels to watch out for. You have the resistance, the area of support, even an additional support box in green that you can consider to possibly form a more substantial bottom within. One more thing I can actually provide you is the ideal target for the wave C, which is the 100% extension of the wave A. That sits at $8.4, right? Still within support. Then we have the 78.6% extension, which is also a common target. And for now, we will stop here. These are the levels. This is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and if you enjoyed the content and want to support it directly, check out the channel membership, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.